And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Howdy folks, I'm Darren. Welcome to 8th Day Chronicles here at Cross Timbers Farm. Glad to have you with us. Day number 2 of baling our main field. It got dark last night on us and we had to stop. We had to quit in time to feed our chickens and things of that nature, do some farm chores. But we left our field here, it's in windrows still, and we baled about 10 bales off the main field last night before darkness made us quit. And the dew started, the ground has started getting a little bit damp feeling, so it's time to quit. And the dew this morning was not that bad because we had a breeze last night, which really helped. I'm telling you, everything that's went on in cutting this main hay field, having to go around all the foxtail, and because of that foxtail infestation, losing about 2/3 of our field, not being able to cut it for premium hay. Everything else has worked so well. The wind, the dry down has been perfect. The sunshine, no rain. Everything's just worked wonderfully. We had a learning curve with the baler, with the 330 net wrap baler. There's a learning curve anytime you go to a new piece of equipment. And because our tractor is a non-live PTO, meaning when you turn the PTO on, anytime you push the clutch in to stop, the power to that PTO stops. When you let the clutch back out, the power takes back off. This 330 baler, net wrap baler, is fully automated, and everything about that baler is automatically controlled. When you hear the alarm go off, you stop. That's all you have to do is just stop. It does everything else. As soon as it ejects the bale, you take back off. Well, there was a learning curve with my tractor with a non-live PTO. When the alarm sounded that the bale chamber was full, and I pushed the clutch in to stop the tractor, because you can't keep rolling when you're doing round bales, or it'll just keep picking up more hay. When I pushed the clutch in to stop, the net wrap has already begun. As soon as that alarm sounds, the net wrap starts. And as soon as I push the clutch in, it interrupts the power to the baler. The PTO power goes off. Hence, there's a power interruption to the automated system. Put the tractor in neutral, let the clutch back out, and the net wrap wouldn't take back off. It's like it interrupted that sequence. To the point the baler was sensing something went wrong there for a moment. So it stops what it's doing in that sequence. And then I have to switch the baler to manual and manually net wrap it, which is no big deal. All you do is just hit a button. And once it net wraps it, then you have to hit a button to eject the bale, which is no big deal. But starting out, that was a learning curve. And the first couple of bales we done were not good. Matter of fact, like the second bale we done, I'm getting ready to walk down here and unroll it. We rolled it last night and the baler alarm never sounded. And the bale door started popping open, indicating that chamber was getting really, really full, too full. So I stopped the baler and thought, well, I'll go ahead and initiate the net wrap. And I pushed the net wrap button and nothing really happened. It pulled out a little bit of net wrap, and that's about it. And I went ahead and tried to eject the bale, and the bale come partially out of the baler and kind of hung. That baler had basically got jammed up in there. Way too much hay had went in. And I'm sure it was something I done. It's some kind of other beginner's luck, a learning curve. So me and Susan finally got everything shut off and got the bale door propped open, started the tractor back and opened the bale all the way up and closed the valve so the bale door would stay open. And we managed to get all that bale out of there. And I took my pocket knife and cut the net wrap off up in there real good. And we managed to get that bale out. And from that point on, it went pretty smooth. But that bale, it was getting so late, it's still laying right down here. And we need to spread this bale out. It's partially rolled. We're gonna spread it back out in the sun so we can rebale it here in a few minutes. Too good hay to waste. So I'll show you this bale laying here. I'm telling you, made 10 bales with that net wrap baler last night. And I like it. I do. Susan really likes it. It's a really neat looking bale of hay. And the density setting is set on the medium on that net wrap baler, medium to medium light. And it's making about a 35-pound bale. Really like it. Those bales are a little more manageable for most people. The bales we baled off of our test plot, and I'll show you a comparison in a few minutes, with the twine wrap on the medium heavy setting. Those bales are probably 55 pounds, maybe a couple of them approaching 60, and they're heavy. And Susan can pick them up and then pick up one of the net wrapped ones that's about 35 pounds. And she was like, oh my, this is so much better. She said, I would buy these net wrapped 35-pound bales any day over these 55-pound twine wrap ones. And don't get me wrong, those twine wrap ones are good. They're great bales. We've been selling them for several years now, and people love them. I think they'll like this net wrap even better than the twine. It's a little lighter bale, and ladies and young adults can handle them easier. Sometimes these 55, 60-pound bales can get a little much for some people. And these 30 to 35, 36-pound bales for the average lady and young adult and adult male too, they're just so much easier to handle. Yeah, you're not getting quite as much hay in a bale of hay, but the handle ability of them is so much better. Here it is. Like I said, it got jammed up in the baler, and it's not twine wrapped or net wrapped. I keep saying twine, but it's net wrapping. And we cut what little bit of net wrap was on it off. And now I just need to carry this thing up here somewhere where there's not a windrow and roll it back out so it can be back in the sun drying, and we can bale it right back up here shortly. One of the most valuable tools you can carry on a hay farm is some kind of a mulch fork. This is a Dura fork, made to be used to scoop manure out of bedding in horse stalls. And while it does great for that, look at the broke tines. It don't do that great in the hay field. Hence, I've got a metal mulch fork that I bought recently to replace these attached to my tractor. back out. There was a partial bale in there from last night. I'm really liking this net wrap baler. All right, let's check these three. Okay, we got a bale here. We're gonna check our moisture level on it. And I'm telling you, I am really liking this net wrap baler so far. All right, we've got our Agri-Tronics HT Pro hay moisture tester. And this is pure grass hay. And they say to take 3 points off of your moisture because it's calibrated to alfalfa. 8.9. We're going to check it in several places. 8 exactly. 9.3. And man, we're starting to get some clouds come over. I hope this is not a bad sign. All right, let's check. We done 3 bales. Let's check them. Let's check all 3. 8.7. Okay, here was the very first bale we made. 10.2. We're good. All right, we're gonna keep this baler rolling. got some dark clouds. Susan's loading hay out of the field. I wanted to use the accumulator to do most of this, but we use it later. But it's threatening rain, and our only tractor on the farm obviously is in use, baling, so actuate the net wrap and eject the bale. And we continue on. Going down a steep place here. This is some thick hay too. Oh, and a drop of rain just hit me. This bale's gonna try to roll away. Basically about 10 feet and made another bale. That's how thick this is. Unreal thick. I had to go slow. Keep from jamming the baler up. Pick up. There's another bale. Ted and I talked about how thick the outer edges were. I've made 3 bales at about 25 feet. And another one. Hay. Some dang good hay too. My goodness, what a beautiful day. we're done baling. It's been a busy couple of days, and we got a lot more hay off that main hay field. You'd think only a third of it is all we cut. It might have been a little over a third. The test plot done really good too, but these bales out of our twine wrap baler, here's the twine wrap bale, here's the net wrap bale. This is test plot hay, this is main field hay. The test plot, we baled it with our twine wrap baler, set on the medium heavy density. But that bale, it's heavy, okay? Now, I've not weighed these with a scale, but I've picked up enough hay and weighed enough hay kind of to, I can get pretty close. I'd say that's approaching 60 pounds, 55 to 60. This one is 30, I'm gonna say between 34 and 38 pounds, somewhere in that area. And moisture levels, after you baled, a moist bale of hay will weigh more, and the moisture on these averaged out about 16% moisture. These are about 10%. That's an average. The a little bit higher moisture reading will lend itself to a little bit heavier bale, but that's relative to how tight your density is. The density of this one is a medium heavy, and the density on this one is just a medium. My baler, the twine wrap one, has 4 slots where you can adjust the density. It's got a heavy, a medium heavy, a medium light, and a light. The net wrap baler only has 3 slots. It's light, medium, and heavy, and it's on the medium one. And me and Susan's talked a lot about it. I like this bale better. I know I've always been a fan of the twine wrap, but after using this baler and handling these bales and stacking them all in their hay room and everything, I like this. This is a lot neater package. Now, if you bale your own hay for your animals, you've got a few horses, some cattle, or a few head of cows, or you've got some goats or sheep, whatever, and you bale your own hay, and you pick it up out of the field and you put it straight in your barn and you bale it, and it never really leaves your property, then aesthetics really don't matter. At least to me it wouldn't. It might you, but it wouldn't to me. If the bale's a little more ragged looking, like the twine wrap tends to be, that wouldn't bother you. And our customers like them. But aesthetically, if you're selling hay to someone in the public, this is a lot neater looking bale. Very uniform all the way around with that net wrap. You don't have those, where the twines went around and those dips in the hay and then some other hay kind of puffing out around where the twine string is. This is very uniform and just very aesthetically nice to look at. That is packaging to go along with premium hay. That'll bring a premium price. And this is both these bales are premium quality hay. I'm convinced of that. We've had hay tests done in the past, and I know what we get. Dealt with hay a lot. These are premium quality. Both these will fall into the premium category. If I'm going to buy a bale of hay, I'm going to buy this one. Just because of the aesthetics, how it looks. And it's a little bit lighter. Yeah, you don't get as much hay in this one as you would this one if you rolled it out. However, horse owners, a lot of them, and sheep and goat owners is mainly what really attracts people to these small round bales. The cattle folks are not as big on them as the others. Cattle, usually people wants the big 5x5 round bales. The small bales, is attractive to horse owners, sheep and goat owners. And a lot of those sheep and goat owners and horse owners are ladies and young adults. And this bale right here, even Susan can tell you, she's handled lots and lots of them. As soon as we started using this net wrap baler and she started picking some of them up, she said, wow, I really like that. It looks nice and it's lighter on that lighter medium density setting. I can handle it better. Most of your females and young adults, horse owners, whatever, are going to be able to handle this bale right here a lot better. So this was probably the very last bale we will ever make with our baler on the medium heavy setting. We're going to drop down to the medium light, and it took having another baler here on a different setting for me to have them side by side to try them and to realize how much better this is. Yeah, you're going to end up with a few more bales in the field than you would this one, but overall this is a much more manageable bale. Plus the net wrap, it's much more aesthetically pleasing. And here's a big plus. When you're baling hay and you're out in the field and your baler ejects a full bale and it's done, it's twine wrapped, we have to take that tag end, because we sell our hay. We take that tag in and we give it a good hard pull and we tuck it under another wrap of that twine, because it's handled a lot. It's been moved from the field to a trailer and then onto someone's truck, and then when they get home it's getting moved into a barn, and then it's getting moved again over into a barn stall and getting fed. A lot of handling. So we have to tuck that tag end in to keep all that tight. Otherwise it might start trying to come unwound. When the net wrap baler ejects a bale of hay, you don't have to touch it again. That net wrap kind of binds to itself when it spins around, and when it cuts it, it kind of sticks to itself. The first wrap around, the second wrap comes around, and when it cuts it, it kind of binds to itself. And you don't have to touch it again till you're ready to pick it up. No more pulling and tucking twine under. Hence, this baler was faster in the field. Susan agreed. She was out here, and we produced quite a few more bales per hour with the net wrap than we did the twine wrap. With the twine wrap, when the alarm sounds, you're sitting there on the tractor while that twine arm does like this and comes back over and clicks, and then you eject the bale. This net wrap baler, and we were using it in the manual mode because our tractor is a non-live PTO. The full automation wouldn't work on our tractor. If your tractor's an HST or you have a live PTO, then it would be no issue, but ours is a non-live PTO. But even in the manual mode, we probably made quite a few more bales per hour with this one, simply because when that alarm sounds, you just stop and reach over and hit the button, the switch to start the twine wrap. It twine wraps, and it completes that twine wrap in about 3 to 5 seconds. It's fast. Reach and hit the eject button, and you're on your way. Probably this one takes double the time that this one does. From the time your alarm sounds and you stop until you're moving again, this probably takes double the time that this one does. And if you had fully automated, the automated system worked on your tractor, and about all modern tractors now have live PTO, so it's a non-issue unless you got a Kubota L3200. They're the very unique animal that's different from all the rest, and with a non-live PTO, even in the Kubota line. But if you can use that automated system, man, this is a fast system. It will flat out spit the bales out a whole lot faster than the twine wrap. So much so that I've done told Susan I want a net wrap baler. I'm telling you, it's impressed me. I like it. So we've used the baler, the net wrap baler from Carver Equipment. And this baler does belong to Carver Equipment. And Kyle was kind enough to bring it up and let me use it to get my thoughts on it. And we're still going to use it one more time. We have our west field to cut. And the very next weather window we get, we're going to cut that west field. And we're going to use the net wrap baler to bale it. But we used it about all day today, and there was a learning curve to start with. I got it almost jammed up once last night and got a bale hung in it. Wasn't sure how the alarm sounded, and the system is different from the twine wrap, and there's a little bit of a learning curve. And Kyle, if you watch the video where Kyle brought this up and me and Kyle talked some about this baler, he's right. This is not a baler for a first-time haymaker. It's just not. This is a pretty sophisticated little baler. And with the automation and everything that it does, is kind of complicated. But if you have a basic understanding of hay balers, you can use this baler. There'll be a learning curve because it's a new piece of equipment. It works probably a little different than most things you would use baler wise, but it doesn't take long. You'll figure this baler out if you've got some farm smarts about you. And after I think about 3 or 4 bales making, we pretty well had it figured out, how it all operates and how it works. And I opened the side doors and watched some of the sensors and things of that nature, and you can figure it out pretty quickly if you got some farm sense. And we made quite a few bales with it, and we made 52 bales with it. And we got more to go when we do our west field, but that gave me plenty of time, 52 bales, to figure this baler out and what I thought of it. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Susan's already over there shaking her head. No, our farm budget won't stand it. I want one of these balers. That ought to answer your question of what I think of it. This thing makes such an aesthetically pleasing looking bale. It's so uniform, and with the net wrap, it's so fast. Out in the field, I can make 2 bales out of this baler in the time it take me to make 1 out of the twine wrap. It's that fast in the wrapping sequence, the alarm sounding. From the time that alarm sounds to the bale is on the ground, I can make 2 out of the same time that I make 1 with the net wrap or the twine wrap. I'm about convinced that. I ain't timed it. That's just my opinion, what I think. Do I think this is a good baler? I think it's better than good. This is a Jim Dandy baler, and I like it so well. We're going to start planning somehow to put one on our farm. We sell our hay, and those bales are so aesthetically pleasing, and they make bales faster, that this would really benefit our farm. And I think when folks see how tightly net wrapped and uniform those bales that come out of this baler with the net wrap are compared to the twine wrap balers, they'll be ecstatic over those bales if they're buying our twine wrap ones. If they get some of the net wrap, they're going to be very pleased. The bales we made today, if we sell those, and we're going to, our customers probably won't want to go back to the twine wrap. They're going to say, we want that net wrap. So it's nice. So what do I think of it? I give it on a scale of 1 to 10. I'd give this thing a 9. It's that good. And 10 would be absolutely perfect, but I don't think there's no such thing as a perfect one. But this thing run flawless, no problems with it once we got over the hump of the learning curve. This is a fantastic baler. One question I had of Kyle at Carver Equipment is the net wrap, the availability of this net wrap. You know, you can't just go into Tractor Supply or Rural King or Agri Supply or Menards, what's local to your area, and find this size net wrapping. At least I never have. Maybe where you're at you can. So my question to Kyle was, how available is this net wrap? You know, you don't want to be in the middle of hay season and run out and can't find any more. Okay, Carver Equipment carries and sells this net wrap. And Kyle gave me some stats on it, and I'm gonna look here on my phone so I don't get them wrong. The net wrap cost about $80 per roll. And a roll is 5,000 feet. Okay, and Kyle says you can do roughly 400 bales per roll of net wrap. And the baler does have 3 settings for the net wrap. You can set on 1, 2, or 3. That's how many times it's going to wrap it. And 1 will wrap it around once and cut it, 2 and 3. So we use it on number 2 because our bales are going to be sold and handled. If you used it on wrap number 1, you could probably get more than 400 bales. We used it on 2, and Kyle recommended it for us on 2. You can't run down to Tractor Supply, at least in my area, and buy a roll of this. So if I was going to go with a net wrap baler in December, January, February, well before hay season ever starts, I would order myself enough net wrap through Carver Equipment and order it and have it on hand for the upcoming hay season. If we decide to purchase a net wrap baler, that's what we'll do. In January, February, we'll go ahead and order 3 or 4 rolls of net wrap or 4 rolls, whatever we think we'll need. Heck, we may even go ahead and order enough for 2 years. And it comes in a big plastic bag, and make sure that bag is secure where it can't get wet, and stored in a good dry, dark place, and just put it somewhere in the barn, and it's there. You'll have enough net wrap to do you for a couple of seasons is our plan, or that's what I would do. So Kyle did say they have some of these balers in stock at Carver Equipment, and it's tempting. So the whole purpose of Kyle bringing us this baler to try, and the accumulator, was for us to use and get our opinion of it. What do we think? And this baler's a hit. It's such a good hit that if I was going to buy a new baler, I'd buy this one instead of the twine wrap model. And that's personal opinion. I realize some people may just prefer the twine wrap, and I like the twine wrap. There's nothing wrong with that. I like this net wrap better. And Kyle made it very plain to me when he brought me this equipment that he wanted my honest opinion on it. And I'm not saying that this is a good baler or the accumulator's dynamite or anything like that because I got paid to say it or anything. Nothing like that's happened. I have not been paid to do this reviews or anything. It's only just use it and give my opinion, my totally honest opinion. And we're going to use this baler again on the west field. And I'll reserve final judgment till we're done with that. Use it some more. We'll probably get another 50 bales off of that, 40, something like that, off that west field. And then that'll be 2 full days of using it, and I'll give my final thoughts on the baler then. But for now, if I had to go with just what I've used it the last 2 days, 2 thumbs up. And I'm not paid to say that or anything like that. That's my opinion, my honest opinion. And Susan is behind the camera with 2 thumbs up saying yes, she likes it too. She loves those bales that come out of it. And it's fast. She even commented, she rode around on the 4-wheeler in the trailer and picking up bales. And because we thought it was getting ready to pour the rain, it got dark as a dungeon here at one point. I thought, oh no, here comes the rain. So we started picking up bales. And we'll try the accumulator in another day or two when there's no chance of getting hay wet. So she even liked them. And when she went around and picked them up out of the field later, she said, those are fantastic. I love that net wrap. So it's a good machine. It's a very good machine. And the customer service you'll get out of Kyle and Steve at Carver Equipment, and Kyle's beautiful family and Steve's beautiful family, they are very helpful. And anytime you have a problem with any equipment, this has been my experience, I can make one phone call to Carver Equipment's number, and you actually talk to a live person. You either talk to Kyle or to Steve, not some secretary somewhere that knows nothing about hay equipment. And man, they are so helpful. Johnny on the spot with any problems or advice you need or help you might need. And can't say enough good stuff about it. Okay, we'll give you our final thoughts on this baler after we bale the Westfield. But for now, it's 2 thumbs up. I don't see that changing, but who knows? But we'll reserve judgment till then. The accumulator we used last night, picking up bales out of the test plot, worked phenomenal. I see a few changes needs made in that accumulator, and I'm sure Kyle's going to be really open to that. And I'm going to wait till I use it a little bit more until I make those recommendations to him. But I can see some minor changes that need made. The design is awesome. It's just some things about it I think needs tweaked. The base of a good implement is there, very much there. With just a few minor changes, that thing will be out of this world fantastic. I think this baler is out of this world fantastic, but we'll reserve judgment till we bale with it again. So thanks for being with us today on this beautiful day. This is the day the Lord's made. Let's rejoice and be glad in it. My goodness, what a beautiful day to be on the farm. What a beautiful day to be alive. Thank you for being with us. I really appreciate it. And we pray that God blesses you and your family. And we pray y'all have a fantastic day.